Hello, everybody, and today, for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, we have made it to the 2003 show. I took a month break because, I don't know, I've been a little Ninja Turtle outed. We just needed to take some time off, and I've finished most of the shows I want to watch, so now I can make the time to watch this show once a week. So, the 2003 show is quite an interesting interpretation of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It came out in 2003, and I kind of view this show as underrated, because when you think of Ninja Turtles, you honestly think of the 80s show or the movies, but also the 2012 show, because there are a bunch of incarnations of the Ninja Turtles, and I don't see this one talked about much. But what really worked about this show is how faithful it is to the Mirage comics. Since Peter Laird, the creator of Ninja Turtles, actually worked on this show and tried to make it like how he did in the comic books, but kind of just a bit of a twist. Like, it has mixes of the 80s show, like it has the Turtles' personalities. Like, Leo is the leader, Donnie is the brains, Mikey's the goof off, and Raph's, well, the mean muscle one. Well, he's not exactly mean in the 80s show, but in this we're more shown that. It more is faithful to the Mirage comic books. And where we are at the first episode, Things Change. It's where the Ninja Turtles are invaded by a group of mysterious robots. They're the Mousers, created by Baxter Stockman, but we don't know that yet in this show. Probably till the next episode. It's where the Turtles are training, and they all have to take out Splinter's candle without being seen. Donnie fails, Mikey fails, Raph almost gets it, but he fails until Leo does a badass jump and literally slices that candle and takes it for himself. I just loved how Splinter commented on each of the Turtles, saying that they're slow or needs work. But I love Raph's one-liner where he says, "Teacher's pet." But that's where they are invaded by the Mousers, and they literally have to fight their way through them. And it's not really going well as rubble starts to fall, as their lair starts to fall apart, and they are separated from Splinter. And Leonardo is, of course, worried for Splinter, and he tries to call him on his shell cell, but I like how Splinter has no clue how the phones work at all, since, Splinter is older, and he tries to call them, but it just isn't working out. But they're going to try to find their own path, but most of this episode is where the Turtles try to find what led to this happening, and they end up going up to the surface for almost the first time. It even opened before the episode happened, like it was a sort of opening to the Mirage comics where the Turtles are describing, Leonardo is basically narrating about how he's going to fight what it appears to be the Purple Dragons, but then when the Turtles do leave the surface, they have to stay in the shadows. They notice crowds of people trying to get into some casino. I like how Raph is just hiding in every inch of his body, and the same goes with the other Turtles. But that's where they do bump into what appears to be the Purple Dragons. But in this interpretation, they're a gang. Not like in the 2012 show where they were just a few members. But in this show, it's like a full-on army. We don't know who's the leader is at first until we see it throughout the whole show. But they encounter them, and it leads to them getting to this very cool fighting stance between them, and it leads to a lot of cool action. But then later, when Raph tries to chase down these goons in one of their vans, he ends up getting captured, I'm pretty sure, and so the rest of the Turtles have to go chase after Raph from the Purple Dragons. Meanwhile, Splinter is trying to investigate what is going on with these Mousers, and he ends up finding like a secret lair, which is later revealed to be the new lair throughout this whole show until they finally get a more advanced one. But the Turtles end up encountering once they do rescue Raph and they're saying he's being full of himself, they end up encountering a group of ninjas. And even Leonardo is surprised to see the group of ninjas. And it leads to a big battle. It's a very cool battle. This is our first time seeing the Foot Clan in this show. And I gotta say, the Foot Ninja in this show actually look pretty good. I did like the 2012 one, where they definitely looked more stealthy looking ninjas until they were changed to robots. But in this show, you definitely feel that this is a ninja clan. For sure, the Turtles do their best to take them out, even though they're surprised they have encountered some ninjas. But I think later they do manage to find Splinter when they go into a different part of the sewer. And they are happy that they found their new home. And even Mikey wants to take all the new places for himself. But Raph's just saying he's a dweeb, of course. But the episode does end where we do get the Foot Ninja logo. Where we do see one of the goons from the Purple Dragon Gang ends up talking to a mysterious sensei, which is revealed to be Oroku Saki. And we don't know much about this version of Oroku Saki at first until later in the show. I'm gonna build that up as we review this. But he ends up failing the turtles, like trying to catch them, the purple dragons, and it disappoints Shredder, and it literally ends with him doing possibly something bad to him. So yeah, you almost feel bad for him, even though he was a bad guy. But yeah, this was definitely a decent first episode of the show. I liked how the Turtles went from trying to find a home. They literally had one, and then they were trying to find a new one and trying to reunite with Splinter. We got some nice bonding moments between them, and the action was pretty good. Because the one thing about the show that really nailed it down was the action. Because in the 80s show, they were limited because of the whole, it's too violent for kids. They even had to switch Michelangelo's nunchucks in that show. But in this show, they can finally just let loose and just be an action-packed show. So, yeah, and also the theme song's really good. I never really talked about the theme songs for this show, but it's really catchy for its time. And you definitely feel its Ninja Turtle vibe. They even do the Watch Out for Shredder, which was really good. So, I'd probably give this episode probably a 7 out of 10. It was not as good as Rise of the Turtles, not as memorable childhood memory is for me. But if you have nostalgia for the show, definitely talk about it below. So, I can't wait to talk about the next few episodes of the show, for sure. So, with that being said, thanks for watching, and Turtle Power!